Get
about
today?
Mitch Trubisky. When I talk about Mitch Trubisky, I'll
Hey,
invite
shh.
the coach.
The entrance of the entrance music. Remember, here it goes.
You
Cute
want
as,
to turn that shit up a little bit, man?
cute as second, Nick.
Sorry.
I can't remember what I I'll just do it dramatically since I can't remember how to do it. All right, there we go. Welcome to The Huddle, episode 3, featuring
For us, bro.
there we go. Sponge and Blizzy. Anybody else can talk? Probably not. All right. Here we are, on to the first segment of today's podcast. We're going to be talking about the draft class. Draft class is some pretty interesting players. Somebody I like to say is the GOAT in Shadur Sanders. Quarterback talk.
Ass.
I think he is the best quarterback in the class. Some people think he is. Say it again. What do you think? What do you think he is?
Asshole. Shit.
It's all right though. You can hate. I mean, everybody hates
Hating
him.
on a kid.
Give me your
older
top.
than me, isn't he?
So one of you guys give me your top QB of this class.
I'll be
Top
honest with you, I
QB
don't
of this
watch
class?
college.
Well,
You know,
Sponge is a
as
casual.
coach, I probably should. I don't watch college.
Sponge is a casual, but my top quarterback in this class is 20 years for sure.
Really?
You get it all, man.
Definitely, bro. Come on.
The entrance is a little bit late on the video. We're having a rough start here tonight. It's all right though. Our tech
I'm
guys.
a big Milrow fan too, but
Oh, I love Jalen Milrow.
Ewers is a little more well-rounded. Carson Beck a little more well-rounded. Milrow's a solid player though.
Carson Beck is fucking ass.
And then I need one of you guys to
Carson Beck
give me your
is
top
not
receivers while I check
You're
on
a
something.
casual.
Make sure everything's going smooth.
Luther Bird.
All right, well, while they do that, let's get
It's
a
a
running
guy I
backs
know.
first. Let's talk about
I
some
know.
running backs here. Here's your top running back in the class, Sponge.
Probably Ollie Gordon, man. I think it's pretty unanimous.
Allie Gordon. It's a solid choice. I think it's not unanimous, actually. I'm going to have to go with Quinshon Judkins to go Bucks. I think he's a slightly
You know,
better player.
Judkins is great, but man, Ollie Gordon.
I think that this
it's
draft class
different.
needs some more people added to it for sure because we have a small sample size right now, but hopefully hopefully that gets done.
There's also Trevor Etienne, Travis's brother, is there as
He's
well.
not. I don't think he's even in the class, actually. He is for life. I don't think he's. Oh no, will be IRL if they have to add him to the class if they're.
Who are we talking about now?
He transferred.
Trevor Etienne.
Trevor Etienne, tragically, RIP, just like every Georgia lineman, died in a car accident.
You might have to use a different class, buddy. But anyway, receivers. Who's the top receiver for you guys?
Let's be real, Travis Hunter. I mean, look what that dog did last night.
Travis
I
Hunter's
mean-
a corner in my eyes, so I think it's Luther.
I think
Burden.
he's a receiver in my eyes, to be honest.
I think it's Luther Burden.
It's Burden or Ibuka for me.
What did
but I
Burden
would
do
say
last
Burden.
night, though? Do you not see
I
what
love
Burden did?
Travis
Like
as
10
a
yards
player.
last night? Really?
Yeah,
10
I saw that.
yards?
Travis Hunter put on a show, but I just think Luther Burden screams more receiver than Travis. I think Travis.
I think
is
Hunter's
really
gonna play mainly
more
corner.
than anything.
He can
I
play
think he's gonna
both.
play
I think so too. He says he wants to play both, and then you saw C.J. Gardner-Johnson's tweet replying to that to RG3 saying it's a different league out here, man. It's a
But
different
that's also a
game.
mid
You can't
safety.
do that. It's I don't think it's never been done ever, and there's a reason. For
Deion
that.
Sanders,
It's never gonna
actually.
be done,
Mentality.
Deion Sanders
Deion was not a
actually did
receiver like that, man.
Oh, yes, he was.
He was not. He was not an.
He
every
was
down
what you
guy,
call
that's the
prime
thing.
Tyreek.
You could also say the argument for Gronk. Gronk played free safety a couple times, but only in situations. Same thing with Edelman and Randy Moss. They went in there for reasons, not for a full-time receiver. You know, they weren't full-time like Travis.
can understand
wants to
that.
be. I don't think you can be.
You can't be.
There's too
Absolutely
much
not.
physicality, too much running. I mean, Tyreek Hill's the fastest person. Can be an Olympic runner, which you need a lot of stamina for, and that man is gassed after one run. Imagine doing that much, playing both sides, never getting a break. He could probably play it more often. Come on third down and longs in certain situations, maybe short.
But that's
You
like
know.
like how you going to get a connection with your QB if you do that, though?
Well, I'm saying like defense. If he wants to be a wide receiver, he's gonna play less and less defense. He can come in on 3rd and long situations, Hail Mary situations. You know, if he wants to play DB and sometimes offense, he can become a red zone threat. You know, he's fast, he's explosive. He can easily become a top red zone threat while still playing mostly defense. I think that's possible. But playing every snap full down, all downs, the whole game, maybe a sub here and there, is just impossible, especially in the NFL. You know.
I understand
What
that
do you think,
point. It's a good take.
It's a
Sorry,
solid take.
Blizzy, what do you think about that?
About Travis Hunter, I think he's a full-bred
playing
corner.
both
I think it should be a full-bred corner. I don't think he should be playing both sides.
But what about like those special situations, like where Gronk was?
I mean,
you know,
if
free
you want to
safety
bring
and
him in
stuff
for
like
a down to go be a red zone threat, sure, but he should really be focusing his training on one position. I think that position should be corner, not receiver. I think there's already a multitude of good receivers. I think he's way better as a.
It's fair.
All right, so we're gonna talk about some trades that have happened in the league recently. Let me go
My
make
trade
sure I
most
look at
recent?
all of them, like recent trades. Yeah.
Yeah, my trade happened this week.
What was
Yesterday.
What was the trade? What was the trade that happened?
It was unfortunately got deleted by the commissioner because he was clearing messages. But it was Derwin James, 28 years old, paid for 3 years, $24 million for the next few years. 91 overall X factor with enforcer. You know, he got great abilities. For Mike Williams, who's on a 1-year rental, superstar, deep out elite, and you also got a third round pick for this year. And then DJ Reed, 3 years, just got paid. He's an 86 star.
Sounds like
Also,
robbery,
so-
personally, in my eyes.
I think the Jets got away with robbery. In
Yeah,
that trade.
like
I
you
think
walked into
I
the bank with a
also-
blindfold on.
I think it's, you know, it's a really one-sided trade for right now. If the pick doesn't turn out good and DJ Reed doesn't.
But what were the Chargers
Progress,
thinking?
like
I mean, let's be real. The Chargers,
You
like, what do
like
they
it?
do? Are they in a rebuild? Are they trying to win?
I
I
don't
can't
know.
figure out what
I mean,
the
they just
actual,
traded for
excuse
two
my French,
middle-aged
fuck this
guys.
team is doing. I am so confused.
Quentin Johnston's neck and neck with Garrett Wilson for #1 receiver.
Yeah, but
and-
that's not what they traded for Mike Williams and DJ
Yeah.
Reed, two
Yeah.
middle-aged players and a third-round pick.
I mean,
Third-round pick's not gonna be worth shit.
I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I mean, maybe they're trying to get picks, but I mean, what will picks really? Yeah, this draft class is pretty loaded, but I mean, let's be real, man. It's
the
not
third
going to help.
round.
The class
I
might be
think
loaded,
it's
but the
more
draft
of
class that was
a-
downloaded definitely doesn't have that many players. So I don't know
I
about
think
the third round.
we've seen trades like this, you know, get mocked up. I think there was a trade before that got mocked up for Sauce Gardner in another online league where they got traded for a bunch of depth. You know, he needed more.
But
pieces,
they're
he needed more
young
pieces.
depth. That's the difference. Young.
That is true, they are young.
YOUNG. Other words, let's talk about another trade. CeeDee Lamb was on that big cap hit, and he's gone now. I mean, how do you guys feel about that? He left the Cowboys to join a mediocre Panthers team. Personally, I love it because I'm the Panthers. But I don't know why he would ever do
Panthers aren't
that.
Mediocre. They're what, 5-1? I think 5-2. They're a pretty solid team right now. They definitely can win games. They definitely could lose games. We'll have to see how that trade turns out for Bryce Young.
And then Deshaun Watson's also made his way into Carolina.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson, you know, he's got a lot on his back, especially trying to replicate that 2020 season he had in Houston.
I think Deshaun Watson is washed.
Some people
Whoa,
think he's
that's a
washed.
take.
He
And
needs to
Deshaun
prove
Watson,
himself
he
again.
just got signed for 4 years, $52 million, which for a quarterback is cheap.
Cheap.
We did
He has
just
a lot
sign
to
him to a
prove.
new deal.
He has a lot to prove over there.
He doesn't have
That's
a
why
lot
he can get
to
the
prove.
money.
It was very weird how the trade went through. A lot of people have been calling for some type of investigation to go on, cutting the player and then signing them back just to trade
Whoa,
them.
whoa, whoa, whoa. What are we
It's
talking
an
about?
odd deal.
Investigations.
The amount of money the Cleveland Browns lost in doing that,
In
but
that
also
trade,
saved at the same
yeah.
time is insane. I mean, the league needs to investigate it, I think. But
So it's a little odd that a team, I don't think any team in the history has ever cut a player to sign them back and then trade them at the same time. It's a little odd, and I think an investigation does need to be done. especially since the Panthers maxed out on trades, and about 30 minutes before that trade got approved, there was a trade-a-palooza, as the commissioner called it.
Trade-a-palooza, baby!
They got two more trades out of it. So it's a little odd. I think an investigation does need to be going through, and I think that needs to be settled.
But how are we feeling about the league so far? I think it's been pretty successful. I mean, people are active. It's staying good, well and groomed. I think, like, we even have people joining in the podcast each week. I mean, look at that. The Lions is here this week, and the Bills is here also. Last week it was 1. Week 1 it was 0, and now look.
And the new Commanders.
The new Commanders too. Yeah, look at that. I think he got kicked earlier for some reason, but he's back now.
Well, I don't think he got kicked. I think he left.
No, I think he got kicked.
He might have gotten fired, or retired. He might have pulled a Bill Belichick, retire.
He was screaming the name Stevie Scott. How dare you? As he was leaving the stadium that day.
If you're a Jet fan, speaking of Stevie Scott, you would have seen the game that happened yesterday.
What happened? Explain to us what happened. I'm curious.
68 total yards. That was
Stevie Scott only got 68 yards. Really.
Seems like he's showing why he's so mid.
Of Stevie Scott, that is a topic right there. Stevie Scott, he came out of nowhere, and he's leading the NFL in rushing yards. I mean, is he a fluke? Is he a great player? What's going on with that kid?
I think it's a fluke. I personally do. You can't just teach talent like that, and he's a fluke.
I don't think he's a fluke. I think he's showing early signs of being something special, man. I mean, he came in, no one expected.
Well, he's a third-year guy, though. He's 24 already.
He's 24, but that's about 3-4 years. If he produces like this, he's already the rushing leader right now.
Stevie Scott
he's
might be the rushing leader, but he is not a good running back.
Record.
He's also being abused right now.
He's not efficient.
He is being abused in New England. Do you not understand that?
162 attempts. That's 40 more attempts than the next guy.
I think
that's bad.
He's being run into the ground. His career's going to be over by the time he's 27.
That might be a rule break, spamming the same player over and over and over again. I think it's a little interesting.
That might be the only thing that team can do, if we're being realistic.
Drake May is not a good quarterback. He's young, but he's not a good quarterback. Stevie Scott's carrying that offense.
I mean, two touchdowns, 272 yards.
You have to make that Pats team lean on Drake May if you want to beat them. Stevie Scott.
You can't lean on Drake May. They tried it in North Carolina also.
Stevie Scott is a fluke.
Against my team. We have a great secondary with Derwin James now. We have, Sauce Gardner. We still have Michael Carter, who was a top 5 slot corner the year before this year, and it's just he went good. I think he's showing flashes.
We're hearing all these good things about Stevie Scott.
Let's hear the bad things.
They're running over the ground. Here, let's hear something bad about Stevie Scott. Stevie Scott is bottom 5 in the league in average yards per carry among starting running backs. Stevie Scott fumbles. He has 4 fumbles, which I believe is tied for leading the league among running backs.
Were against my team, Quinnen, the first time.
That's what we're saying. When he goes against good teams, look what he does. Nothing. Overrated.
He also has a clutch problem, I feel like. In the clutch, both times, the Pats were up by a possession or about to be up by a possession, and he fumbled twice, almost costing the team the game. So I think that's just being I don't want to call him a rookie because this is his 3rd year, but being in a starter role for the first time in your career.
And another thing about Stevie Scott is that he just does not have the speed to break away from tacklers. He cannot run that ball far.
Well, let me tell you this. This is the next segment we're going to do. What do the Costco guys do?
Stevie Scott.
Big boom or doom. That's our next segment. That is our next segment. Boom or doom. And Stevie Scott is our first doom.
I'm going to say boom.
Stevie Scott, as of right now, is a boom, but I think he's going to fall off of a cliff. And
you heard it here first.
What happens with him. I mean,
fall off a cliff.
You can see the average is an L.
If Stevie Scott leads the league in rushing yards at the end of the year, I think he's going to get touchdowns. He's already at 15. If Stevie Scott leads the league in rushing yards at the end of the year, this league needs to be put on notice.
What about we're going to choose a new subject to pick on. Who are we going to pick on next? Mitchell Trubisky. Why not?
Mitchell Trubisky.
Interesting.
Second in the league in passing
back.
yards.
He's back. He's starting.
He was a first-round pick for a reason, they're saying. I don't know if I believe it.
7 years later, he's the starter on the Bills. They're not having
Hey,
the greatest
Gino-
success.
18
Gino
touchdowns to
got his
15
start
picks.
later. Gino failed and then got a start later on, and he had one of the best completion percentages in the league. So, these
Does
quarterbacks
completion
come
percentage
back.
really tell you anything, though, if we're being for real?
Unfortunately, Mitchell Trubisky, he has a good completion percentage, but he throws picks like a mother trucker
does.
out there.
I think a lot of that is just team play as well as making bad reads. I think it's a little bit of both. I saw it as in the same division as the Bills when we played them. He made some bad reads, but a lot of times he was heavily pressured almost every play, and he was getting hit a lot, and that wears you down, man, especially as a quarterback.
Are we giving Mitchell Trubisky a boom or a doom?
I'm gonna give him a doom.
Mitchell
I'm
Trubisky, based on
doomed.
his last couple of seasons, he's booming right now.
I'm giving him a
He's
doom.
booming right now.
18 touchdowns, 15 picks. That deserves a doom.
Look at his
He's
weapons.
back.
We do have
Give us
the
weapons.
Bills coach in the call with us here. Coach, do you have anything to say on Mitch's practice and how he's been playing in your eyes? Coach Jadams, are you there, Coach? Seems like Coach Jadams
Not much
might
to
not
say
be
there. Not much to say from
All we're
Coach.
hearing
Well,
is
like
a
that.
bunch of. All
Yes, we
right,
are.
let's talk about the.
Oh,
Let's
he
see.
left the call.
NFC North. We got an NFC North in here. Lions. Let's see. Jared Goff is 11 for 11 in touchdowns picked, 71 completion percentage, 259 a game. How are you feeling about your seasons, Lions?
I'm here. Oh, the Bills are back.
Yep.
I don't think the Lions is here, but that's all right. We'll come back to him.
We'll go back to the Bills. We'll go back to the Bills since Coach Jadams just
Oh,
came
my
back.
bad.
Jadams, how
My
are you feeling
bad.
about Mitch Trubisky's
No,
play?
no, the Chargers is back. Or Lions is back. Sorry, Lions is
Hey,
back.
hey, I was here first.
No, Bills, you're done. I'll meet
I was
you.
here first.
All right, he's muted for now. All right, you're good to go, Lions.
All right, yeah. Well, what was the question again?
Yeah, but how do you think your season's going so far?
Struggling, trying to find the identity of the team, but yeah, we're gonna pull it together, make a run. So a
I
lot
feel
of
it.
good guys in the league, a lot of good teams. So just
Not the
trying to.
Patriots, though, right?
Nah, the Patriots suck, but
There we go.
besides that-
There we go.
Besides that, yeah, everybody else seems to be
Just a solid
pretty
7-0.
legit. You know,
7-1, but
watch
Seven
out for
scouting.
watch out for Sam Laporta.
Sam Laporta,
Solid,
okay.
solid player. Great tight end.
Laporta's great.
He has that identity that Dan Campbell brings to that Lions team.
They're dogs over there, not lions.
Yeah, I just started figuring out that Laporta can't be stopped, so go watch out.
Leading receiver on your team, actually. Looking at it now.
Is he?
Yeah, 388. Amonra's underneath him.
That's a little concerning. The coach doesn't know his own player stats.
And, well,
He's not
no,
a statistics guy. He just goes out there to win.
like I said, I just figured out that Laporta can't be stopped. So I mean, I didn't know he passed everybody in receiving yards and stuff. Yeah.
Ryan Clark would disagree.
I think Coach
pummel.
Sponge is just mad that you're not averaging 80 yards a game with Jameson Williams. I think that's his problem.
I might be a little mad at that because that's what I use him in another league. He has 13 touchdowns. In
To
10
be honest
games.
with you, I've never played with a speed guy before. I like
Oh, he's incredible.
yeah, so I don't really know how to use them. I'm gonna be honest with
That's fair.
Streaks and crossers.
you. Yeah.
Got to fade him into the offense.
Somehow. And
I
now
like
we'll
him.
move on to the Chargers. Chargers, how do you think your season's going so far? We're kind of confused on how you're building your team over there. Now, Coach Gio.
I ain't gonna lie, we just thugging.
Thugging it. I like it.
Yeah. Whatever happens, happens.
That's all you can
Nobody's
ask
been
for,
good
right?
mid.
This is
But,
also the first. This is also the
Quentin
first time we've
Johnston,
had
though.
two teams that traded with each other in the call. We heard my side. What about Chargers' side of the trade?
So pretty much, I can't stop anybody on defense, so might as well sell out the defense and go all offense. We top 3 in
I
offense.
feel it, bro.
Not a bad plan. I feel the same way. The Eagles' defense has been pretty horrible. I think the worst in the league this year, actually. So, yeah, I might do the same.
Hey, we'll come shop. Always good for defense.
Eagles' defense on the block, everybody. You heard it here first.
I'll be the first one in your DMs, Coach.
Just remember, J.C. Horn is on the block for the right price. And now we'll unmute.
I'd like to take a moment real quick, just for a second. Quentin Johnston, I disrespected him last podcast. I feel like at this point he's earned my respect at 800 yards, 139 a game.
You better apologize.
Damn, wow.
I will say 3 touchdowns, but nonetheless, 800 yards at this point in the season is quite impressive from him. I think he might not be a bust. I think he's already established himself.
Same amount of catches as last season too, and he only had 400. That's impressive.
Boomer doing, I'd say he's a boom. But
he is a big boom.
He's doing the opposite of what you see in baseball. Usually they have a sophomore struggle. Now he's having a sophomore rise right here in this season.
Sophomore erection.
And then we'll unmute the Bills finally and let him talk about his side of Mitchell Trubisky.
Mr. Trubisky.
How we doing, Bills?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
It's a great Friday night.
Thank you for the clap. Glad to be here.
The Bills.
Yeah. I just you said doom on Mitch Trubisky, and I'm just look at his weapons, look at what he's dealing with.
But
No, I'm talking to Dre. The one who muted me actually.
Dre, the Panthers. And Sponge actually, yeah. Just Panthers. Me who said boom.
Thank you for that.
I mean,
Jets, you experienced firsthand the possessions that go dead because James Cook has butter on his hands.
Yeah, he fumbled I think twice in a row.
3 times total.
It's that Zach Bryan song, man. It's a revival.
There was not a joke made.
Mr. Trubisky.
It's not a revival.
It was very funny.
Big doom is what I'm seeing.
The first 2 carries of James Cook in that Jets game, he fumbled, which is even funnier when the last 2 carries he had in the Texans game, he fumbled.
Yeah.
So he went 4 carries, 4 fumbles in a row, and then his 5th carry went for a touchdown. So it was very weird, like very bipolar for
just
James
like my
Cook.
ex-wife.
Is he telling the truth?
No, we're gonna grind it. We're up to 3-5, tough division. We're gonna see if we can.
Yo!
I'm mid-division. Or I'm like trying to sneak into that 7th seed.
You trying to make the playoffs?
I am looking to make the playoffs this year. We have a good team. Defense is still looking solid. Giving up a lot of points, but okay. Do I play Dre this year?
It seems like the Panthers might not be a fan.
Do I play?
I don't think that.
Personally,
I think they could do it. I think the Bears made the playoffs. I believe a certain team beat them. I'm not sure. Could you remind me?
No.
all right, now if we can just get a moment for our sponsor. If we just get, everybody calm down. Can we just get a moment for our sponsors today? We got 2 ads coming up right now.
Walaupun mukaku kayak titit, tapi cintaku padamu
One second.
unlimited. Aduh, kebelet
I'm not sure what that was.
Our ads are coming up right now. We'll go with
Whopper, Junior, double, triple, Whopper, Impossible, or Bacon Whopper. I rule this day. BK, have it your way.
and then our next sponsor, Jerkmate.
Yo, ever heard of Jerkmate? It's fun, entertaining, and addictive with a spicy, sexy twist. Come see for yourself and watch thousands of crazy girls do things that are beyond your wildest dreams. Join in on the fun today.
All right, thank you for our sponsors. All right, and then if you're here and you're listening, we're gonna our special word of the day. You will put it in the polls chat. We're gonna put the word Mitch Trubisky is a doom for a wheel spin. You will get a wheel spin if you put Mitch Trubisky is a doom in the polls chat. Stevie Scott's mediocre. Mediocre. Well, we're not going back on him. But here's what we need to talk about. Trevor Lawrence, 30 touchdowns, 8 picks. That brother is balling. Give him his flowers. Dude went from fumbling 8 times a game to this. Maybe Ozempic. There ain't no such thing as cheese balls, son. You're just ass. It's all right, though. It's your heard and seen. What are you scared of so badly about that team? I'm just curious about it. Oh my God, he said it. Wow. Eight. That's an amazing stat. I mean, 30 touchdowns is impressive in its own. Brees Hall only has half the carries. So I don't remember if you guys remember what I asked you week 1 of the huddle. Who your Super Bowl hopefuls were, and how are your Super Bowl hopefuls looking right now? Same here. I had the Chargers up there, and then the Chargers started slowly drifting away. But it's all right. They're stugging it out. Which Mahomes has 1 pick, but there's balling also. Tell us why Jordan Travis is bad at football, in your opinion. I mean, he's a rookie. What can you really blame him?
We didn't get to see a whole lot of success from the Eagles in that game, unfortunately. But it's just how the cookie crumbled. Only lost by 10. Travis was great. Outside of the 3 picks. Both quarterbacks sacked 3 times. Jalen Hurts has actually been sacked 24 times, which is the most in the league by 6. Our O-line this year hasn't been working so well with Hurts. Hurts has kind of been forced around to the pocket, and we got to get that under control for sure. Not a big fan of those Giants. We'll be seeing them again, and we're going to try to give them the business.
And we're just going to put a little sponsorship out there to our brother that runs our 2K. So when 2K comes out, we always have 2K leagues running also. So if you want to be a part of a 32-man 2K league, we got a good active league.
There's only 30 teams.
There's gonna be 2 expansion teams this year. Homer's been putting in some work.
Okay. Sure.
I mean, 2K comes out on Wednesday. I don't know if you guys are gonna be up, but I'm gonna be up at 8 a.m. playing it.
I'll be playing it. I won't be playing
I
it
don't
for a
think I'll be
week
up
though.
at 8 a.m., but I definitely will be awake.
Maybe 10 or 11 we could do.
Coach of the Jets is still in college, man. He's getting that degree while coaching.
Womp womp.
Something
College.
incredible.
And then we're going to wrap up tonight's podcast a little early here, and we'll have an extra long podcast next week for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy your night, and catch you on the Huddle episode 4.
Fuck Stevie Scott.
Mr. Trubisky, boom.